of the church, they have to support themselves. That's why the mendicant orders had to support themselves by begging. So these contemplative nuns or these sisters, they work in that diocese. For instance, the contemplatives pray, the sisters, they do social work or whatever their apostolate is within their religious community. But the bishop will only go once in a while to see if they are following the truth of the tradition, and that they are not doing things in their monastery that should not be. That means he has the right to go within their monastery and maybe once a year as a visit. But he cannot just go there and sneak up on them. The possibility is that they can break off and form their own, whatever you want to call, their own fraternity or society, separate from the society. We have these groups. So we have the fraternity. If we one day have contemplative nuns. If one day we have the sisters. We have the oblates. We have confraternities that will, for instance, the confraternity of St. John Birchman will be the confraternity of alkalites. So if we have the confraternity of St. John, I think he's going to get a look at it. You have to look at it. If we have the, he's back on. If we have the Arch Confraternity of St. John Bergman, he was that Arch Confraternity. Whoever the chairperson is for the altar servers, he is the chairperson of all of the altar servers in the whole universal church of our society. And that person is in charge of teaching protocol to all the altar. So in every district, the bishop should appoint one person in charge of training the altar servers. But that trainer must report to the chairperson of the Arch Confraternity. We got to let people do things. I, as a bishop, don't want to be in everything. I don't want to be in everything. In order to be good bishops, you have to empower people. You have to listen to me. God told Moses, put your spirit in them. Once you put your spirit in them, they have the vision. They have the understanding as to what you want. But you have to let them breathe. You have to let them go. You have to trust them to do. That's what delegated leadership is. When we delegate, so I say, I'm going to delegate Deacon Forcer to be in charge of all of the catechists. If I delegate him, I don't need to be, what are you doing? Like a spy or police. No. His job is to do what he needs to do and report back to me. It's too weighty a position for the bishop to be everywhere doing everything. Let these people breathe. Let them do what they need to do so that we can build up the church. Build up the church. And trust the lay people and trust the people to do things. So in the priestly fraternity, we have the membership here. And then on number 4, we have the profession in the fraternity. If you want to look at number 3, it says the priests, apart from the hearts of God's people, but not separated from the world, are by virtue of their special vocation and ordination, fully devoted to the work of salvation by fulfilling priestly ministry as witnesses and stewards of life other than life here on earth. And then it speaks about with the special grace of the sacramental order, which helps these priests to carry out the deeds of the sacred ministry dignity. They receive spiritual aids from profession that makes them members of the Alphonsian family and shares. So let me say this to us. The priestly fraternity is not some separate group over there as if they're not part of the Alphonsian family. They are part of the society. They are part of the Alphonsian family. But they're not religious. They're secular priests. Okay? Now, the character and life of the fraternity's priests It goes on about the family life or their life as priests, the occupation in the fraternity, okay? Living out the evangelical life, the rule of life on page 7. All members being priests of the Church of God are bound by their promises they made before God, either their first bishop or ordinary at the ordination. These promises can be distilled into prayer, study, work, and obedience. Now, we can't have them not obeying Bishop Paku, because if they're part of another society or some group, they can't have divided obedience. They have to obey, like the priests have to obey the district superior. The district superior, the priests in the district have to obey the main bishop, superior general. But they also have to obey the district superior. And in this case, the priest must obey the superior of the priestly fraternity. Okay? Now, Article 3. Members will sometimes strive to offer their prayers life in context of the classical Latin Tridentine tradition. So really, the fraternity is in defense of the Tridentine Mass. Formating priests that are already priests, but helping them to be defenders of tradition. Defenders. Because we as Redemptorists, we don't have time to be going around defending the tradition. That's not our mission. Our mission is different. It's to the poor. Yes, we're Tridentine, but these men will be the teachers of the liturgy. Say the Bishop of Baku at this present time. That part, but then we can go back. Say that the main object of the fraternity is to train men in the Tridentine liturgy, that they will be able to go about our parishes. Because the Redemptorists have a different mission. But the priests in the fraternity would be what I would call the referees. You know, when man's ready to go into boxing, you know, he has a referee. A referee. He's teaching him. Turn that way, turn this way, go that way, go this way. Am I